Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Well, you know that if you've watched my channel for a year, last year I did a video on a projector from Wanbo, and I think it's called the Valley One. And I was really hoping that it would be something that would be a great alternative for an off-grid TV set. I thought it would use a lot less wattage and thus being something that was viable for a small RV or something like that. But it turned out that it really didn't save much power at all. So when Wanbo said, hey, we have something else, it's smaller, but it's battery powered, I jumped on it. Let's look at the ToGo Pro from Wanbo. Alright, when you open this up, the first thing you should see is a box within a box. And right on top, you will see the instruction manual, which has a lot of different languages in it. Alright, and then it looks like we can just pull this up by the handle, and out pops the projector. And we have a separate box here. It is definitely the power cord and the remote. So that's nice. And I'm glad that it didn't come in a power brick. So that's a very good sign. All right, and there we go. All right, let's take an initial look at this thing. First of all, let's peel this off. This is the screen protector, or not the screen, but the lens protector, and it's very, very clean. And then I think this right here is the autofocus, because it does have an auto-focusing feature. I do like the fact that it is very small. It is really made to be like a portable unit, for camping, outdoor stuff. It's not IP like 67 rated, so you don't want to have this thing out in the rain at all. It does come with a mount, a screw-on mount on the bottom, so that's a nice feature right there. On the back, it does have a reset button, and also it looks like something for like a headset, so like a 2.5 millimeter plug, I think is what it is. There's also an HDMI plug right there for HD applications. So if you want to plug in like a 4K Fire Stick or like an Xbox Live, something like that, it will display in 4K. But if you're going to use the internal Google TV, it's only going to display at, I believe, at 1080. Anyway, and then there's a USB port right here. And then there's something else here, I'm not really sure. And then the power button right here. Also right here, I said, is the cord. And it looks to be about 5 feet long. And then the remote. And the remote does not come with batteries. It needs 2 AAA batteries. Okay, when I said this was battery operated, it has a 99 watt-hour battery included inside, and it does say on eco mode it can run for 3.5 hours from fully charged to when it shuts itself off. And we'll be testing that in a little bit. It does say it has a battery level indicator, and there's an icon on here. I guess it'll be a battery icon that shows if it's green, it'll be between 80 and 60%. When it gets down to 40, the yellow icon will show up. So it'll go from green to yellow. And then when it gets down to 20%, it will turn red. And when it's at 10%, it will do a 60-second countdown and then shut itself off. It also says that this projector is a 500 lumen projector. The Valley projector that I checked out last year, it was a 900 lumen projector. So it'll be interesting to see what the display difference is in that. I'm sure that it will still be crisp, it just won't be as bright. But we'll find out. And the viewing distance that this can project, it does say between 1.2 meters and 3.8 meters. So about 3.5 feet to about 10 feet. I think the distance I'm going to be projecting is probably 6 feet. So I'm right in the middle of that range. And so a couple of things that I really want to find out about this projector is, first of all, how it looks compared to the Valley that I checked out last year, if it's even worth watching. Because what I want to know is this a viable alternative to watching TV when you're off grid? So I'm going to be watching for how crisp and how bright the display is. I'm going to be watching for the sound quality. Because of such a small unit, I can't imagine that it would be booming sound, but we'll check it out. So let's go ahead and take it upstairs and start using it. Okay, so I have my Valley 1 plugged in right now, and you can see it's on the screen. The camera really doesn't do it much justice, but that's what I'm doing right now is I'm updating all the apps. And if you look at the watt meter, I know that you really can't even see it. I think it's just a white screen, and you might be able to see it now, but it does say 99.5 watts. But our Blue Eddy shows that it's outputting 175 watts. So that's what you'll get if you get a full-sized projector. And that is the display. And that is the display that you'll get. And again, I want to do this in a real-world situation. So it's 1:45 in the afternoon, and it's kind of overcast, but this is daytime. In the nighttime, it will be a lot better of a display. But this is what 900 lumens gets you, from about 8 feet. Okay, it's been a couple hours later, and it is still daytime outside, and I just wanted to give you a short clip of what this sounds like. This is actually my son's account. It is Ugly Cheeseball Gaming, and here's what it sounds like.
Stop! Good God, man. You almost got the cheese touch. The cheese touch? What are you talking about? Line you go. There's this person that touched the cheese. Remember?
Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and set up the battery-operated projector. I've let it charge up for the past 2 hours, so it should be nice and full. So we'll go ahead and set it up, and I will show you the difference. All right, so I just got done setting up the ToGo Pro by Wanbo 2026 version, and let me show you the screen. You can tell that there are less lumens, but it still looks really good. It's nice and sharp, and I think at night it really won't matter. Here is the unit itself, and right now I do have it plugged into that power station, so let's see how much power it is drawing. Remember, the other Wanbo said 175 watts. This is only drawing 110. And on this side, it shows 59 watts. So that is quite the deduction in wattage. So I mean, 60 watts to be able to watch TV, that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And that's not even on the battery power yet. But let's check out the sound quality. If it sounds all tinny and gross, then it's no fun to watch. So let's go ahead and watch that same video we watched before from my son and see if we can tell a huge difference.
Stop! Good God, man. You almost got the cheese touch. The cheese touch? What are you talking about? Line you go. There's this person that touched the cheese. Remember?
So honestly, I think it actually had a little bit of a, I mean, almost like a deeper bass on that shot. And then it sounded, for me, it sounded a little bit better than the actual 2025 version of the Valley 2, which was like almost like a top of the line model. I don't think you will be disappointed at all if you're switching to this one because it is battery powered. But since it is battery powered, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and unplug it, and I'm just going to let it play for as long as it can. It says that it can do 3.5 hours, but it does say on eco mode. So I'm going to see if I can switch it, if I can switch it from eco mode to maybe normal mode or something like that. Okay, well, I went through all the settings, and I cannot find anything that says you can switch it from eco to normal or anything like that, at least while it's plugged in. So let me go ahead and just unplug this unit. And as you can tell, nothing has changed really. It does show at the top now there is a battery percentage bar at the top. I also noticed that this is a little bit more snappy. The one last year, If I press one of these buttons, it would take a second before it to register, but this one is registering right away with everything I'm doing. So that's very nice. And if I press this button right here, which is kind of like the display, it does show 99% of battery capacity right there. And that is what I'm talking about when it says green all the way to 80 or 60, and then it turns to yellow. So that's where you'll be keeping that. Oh, and look, now there is an eco mode right here. So if we turn on eco mode, let's see what it does. Oh, wow, it really darkens the screen. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see the brightness kind of drop down. So if it's nighttime, and you're running on battery, you'll definitely want to have eco mode set up. But I'm going to have it turned off because I want to know how long it's going to play on a regular setting and not eco mode. All right, well, I went ahead and used this Wanbo ToGo Pro 2026 version on its battery in normal mode, and I got almost 2 hours of projector playtime. And you know what? That's a full movie. And that is not on eco mode. It does say that eco mode can do 3.5 hours, but I really believe you will need to be at like a campsite. You can't have any kind of like light pollution at all, because it really does dim down that display. But if you're in total darkness, I think it would be just fine. The sound quality was good, and this thing is very portable. I love it. I mean, you can pick it up with one finger easily. I like how it can go in really 360 degrees, so you could display it on your ceiling if you wanted to. And overall, I'm pretty impressed. I'm impressed about the snappiness of the remote controls, and also the crispness of the display was very good. The only difference between the one I had and this one was, just the lumens. The other one had 900, this one has 500, so it is a little more dim, but it is a smaller compact unit and it's battery powered, so I can't knock it on that at all. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about the Wanbo ToGo Pro 2026 version, please go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'll have a link to this item and everything else I used in my description below. Thanks again, and have a great day. Bye-bye.